Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live! Filmed in beautiful Burlington, North Carolina, in front of a live studio audience. Today, with special guest host, Chris Hill!
Thank y'all. All right. Hey, that was cool. All right. When we get done here, I need all of you to meet me back at my desk. We're going to do that again. And we'll record that and start that every day. So my name is Chris Hill. I work here at... Oh, I thought I was just about to start it again. All right. If we keep this up, I'll never get to do this again. So, like, what was your TWC? They just chanted me for an hour and a half. It was really cool. So, I've been working with the Alliance now for almost 10 years. In the beginning of July, it'll be 10 years. And I spent a lot of time with the ABTF and now in a new department that we'll tell you about in just a little bit. But I have the opportunity today to share with you the TWC because Andy Albright is in Switzerland. And many of you just got back from Paris. I have heard a lot. Now, if you go to amppics.com, you can go in and look at all these really cool pictures and amazing stuff. I've heard that you need to watch videos of people. Oh, look at. I've heard look. I'll do it from over here too. I've heard of a lot of people riding scooters and a lot of some adventures and some videos that'll come out. Beautiful pictures. Look at that. And so you should go there and check it out. And you might say, well, what if I didn't go to Paris? We know you should go check out the pictures and I see what it looked like because this is not the last time that the Alliance will go to Paris. And so you just need to make sure that you don't ever miss another trip. And one of the best ways to do it is look at the pictures and see what it looks like. Now, you can't, look at that, that's cool. You can't look at that and really understand what it was, but you can get an idea and you begin to dream. So amppics.com, P-I-X, not P-I-C, amppics.com. Go and check that out and make sure you look through those. Take the pictures and show them to your new people. Now, if you had somebody, if your upline or your agency manager is on the trip, you need to find pictures of them in Paris and send it to the people you're talking to. Say, this is the guy or this is the girl that's coaching me. Why does Andy spend all the money to create this to help you? It's not just because, you know how like back in the day when somebody went on a family trip and then they come over with that little projector and you had to watch an hour worth of like the Grand Canyon and it was really, really, really boring? That's not the purpose of this. Hey, look, there's Nick like a boss. So you take the picture and you send it to people and they say, where was that at? In Burlington, North Carolina? No, that was in Paris. That's and so you help them to dream by showing all the places you've gone. And so use that amppics.com. Now, a couple of announcements for you to know. Andy Albright is coming back from Switzerland and then immediately going on the road. So his travel schedule looks like this. You should grab a pen and a piece of paper. This is probably the most important thing that I'm going to say all day today because Andy Albright is coming back and he is not going on the road for a day or for 2 days or for 3 or for 4. He's going for 5. And so here's the dates you need to know. Monday, May 20th, Andy Albright is going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada. The meeting will begin at 7 p.m. Hotspot training, night owl. So we're going to spend the night in Vegas. Well, we'll be awake in Vegas. And then Tuesday morning, a boot camp starts at 8 a.m. So that'll be an adventure. Vegas at night and boot camp at 8 a.m. And so 8 a.m. to 12 on Tuesday. Then we're hopping in a plane and flying to Seattle. So Tuesday, May 21st, we're going to be in Seattle at 7 p.m. Same deal, hotspot, training, night owl. We'll go to sleep. We'll wake up Wednesday in Seattle, a boot camp from 8 to 12. All right. So you're with me so far. Vegas, then Seattle. Then on Wednesday, May 22nd, we're flying to Salt Lake City. 7 p.m. hotspot, training, and then night owl. We'll get up Thursday morning and do another boot camp from 8 a.m. to 12. Then on Thursday night, We're going to fly to Long Beach, California. We'll do another meeting at 7 p.m., training, night owl. Then we're going to sleep for a little bit. Then we'll get up Friday morning and do another boot camp from 8 to 12. And then we're going to get back on the plane and sleep all the way home when we land in Burlington. So you should go to NAAHotspots.com, go into the search bar and type Andy Albright. You search Andy's name, click it, you can see everywhere that he's going to be. So then you can line up with those cities. Now, if Andy is going to a city, that means you should have people there in the city with him, so make sure you're preparing yourself. Now, how should you use hotspots? You should also search your growing up line, your agency manager, and let's say it's Stephen Davies. You type Stephen Davies, you see where he's going to be, and you start working in those areas. You start recruiting in those areas. I'll give you a secret. Here's a tip. Don't tell nobody else. All the people on TWC. If you go into your Facebook and you go to your friends, you can do an advanced search and you can look up every person on your friends list that lives in Las Vegas. Then you direct message each of them. You go to each city and do that. All right? To have people in those cities use it for that. Now, ACTs are coming up. Jacksonville is June 6th through the 8th. Burlington is June 12th through the 14th. So the ACT is our intense training where it is you start really, really early, you end really, really late, and it's nothing but content. In the ACT, you end up booking appointments, you end up recruiting people, you do a lot of role playing, really, really exciting. I had the opportunity to be part of the one here in Burlington and then part of the one in Lakeland, and they are jam-packed. People coming out of the ACT are they scrolling through pictures? Look at you, Terry! That, yeah, I'm not going to make a comment on that one. All right, anyways, so... Look, there's Stephen. All right, I'm going to keep getting distracted. The pictures are really cool. So the ACT is already full. But I got good news. That can't stop you from applying. You can apply anyways. And I don't know if you'll get in or not. I'm not in control of that. If I was, I'd let everybody come in. But you might as well apply. What's the worst they can do is tell you no. I told 3 people I was working with this morning to go ahead and apply. And they said, is it already full? I said, yes. They said, why should I apply? I said, why should you not? It's not going to hurt anything. Keep applying, keep trying to get in, and see if we can work something out. All right, then, family reunion is 64 days away. 64 days away. AllianceFamilyReunion.com is where you can go and get your ticket. You should check with your growing up line, your agency manager, see if they have tickets that they've already purchased they can help you with. You do not want to miss this event. It is going to be insane. Every big decision is made at a big event. And people don't make decisions sitting on their couch. Well, not good decisions. They do make a decision, but it's not one that helps them. I work in youth ministry, so one of the things that they taught us in youth ministry is you take young people to big events. I can have a steady diet of talking to them every week and then take them to a really big event, and the guy says the same thing I've said 100 times. You know what they say? Brother Chris, you ain't going to believe what I just found out. Like, I want to choke him out. And like, what's wrong with you? But he says, what would you? He'd flip a table on us. What he'd do? I read the book. I know what he'd do. And so you take them to the big events to get them the content. So family reunion is perfect for you. Why? Because then you get to introduce them to people. You get to have them be around the carriers, the vendors, meet people, use it for a building opportunity. I can tell you multiple people that brought a large group with them to the big event. And then within 6 months, they were well past agency manager. And so the secret is getting them here. And so your job is not to, you don't have to do the performance. Like I'd be terrified if the family reunion was dependent upon me getting there speaking. But the good news is it's not. It's Andy Albright. It's the guy that's already making multi-millions. It's the guy that's got 2 planes. It's the guy that's got a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, a Maybach, and a G-Wagon. It's the guy that's got all this stuff. And so he's already figured out how to get to that point. We're trying to get there as well. So let him do the show. My job is to get them there, being a good promoter. So family reunion, 64 days away. You think 64 days is a long ways, but it's really not. That's about 2 months, and then it's going to be right on top of us. So here's the thing. Your business growth the next 6 months is going to be based off of the next 60 days. Because if you don't get anybody there, I promise you're not going to grow as fast as you could. you're going to suffer in the growth category because of it. So if you could fight hard to get 20 people there, get 40 people there, 60 people there, how big are your dreams? What is it that you want to accomplish? Use the family reunion for that. All right, then I get the opportunity. Now, I don't have stickers today, but I am going to announce 2 new winners for Alaska. So this is our Alaska trip, and so far we have Minerve that is won, Sarge, Brett Swindell, Mike and Michelle Alleman, and Mark Hutchison is down here in a room. I don't know, everybody else is on the glacier, he's down here. And so new winners for this week, please hold applause after I read the 2 names. James and Jane Hill, and James and Angie Coleman. Good job. So they are now officially on the Alaska cruise, headed towards Seattle, the extension. Now, I get to read the power of 10. So the power of 10 is after you've paid your first 10 policies, you get a whole package, you get a shirt. How many of you got a certificate? Y'all know what a certificate looks like? Ain't that fancy paper? It's paper that you can go and put on your refrigerator and be proud of, and you get this. I mean, it's just cool. These people this week hit their power of 10. Emmanuel Davis, Dustin Nessler, Jason and Karen Gray, Daniel Jones, Teresa Phillips, Justin Lau, Wendy Neal, Curtis Jones, Natasha Brown, Armonte Terry, Heidi Kay, Burt Bill, and Tanya Johnson. Good job on your first 10. Now, I was going to show these off. I think he's going to try to zoom in on this. If you can see this, sorry, I missed y'all. If you can see this right here, these are things you put on the back of your phone, and it has the Andy TWC face that y'all seen on the coffee mug. And so you can check these out on the store. They asked me to give 3 of these away, so I'm just going to do that. I feel like Oprah. Everybody, I feel like Oprah until I hit somebody in the eye with him. Somebody lost an eye. I have a way of doing that. All right. So, sorry about whoever, Tessa, sorry about that. Gave her a new piercing. All right. So, anyways, now I have the opportunity to bring up a good friend of mine. We got to work together for about 1.5 years, 2 years, did an incredible job. Such a good job that they took him out of my department and I gave him his own. And not only has he done well with the department, they have grown by leaps and bounds. So if you would, help me welcome Andy Lee.
Yeah, crispy like potato chips. Hello? I am Andy Lee all day today. I'm the director of Andy Albright's President's Club. Spent 13 years in the fitness industry. February 23rd, 2015, I was hired by Chris Hill and Robbie Kraft in the agency building task force where I was a recruiter for Albright Space Shop for 2.5 years. Loved it. Everything I know comes from Chris Hill, Andy Albright, and Robbie Kraft. And Chelsea's giving me the look. And Chelsea Long, she's like, I helped. December 4th of 2017, they asked me to take over the President's Club. Side note, not because of me or their staff, I do believe it's because of you guys. In 2018, President's Club doubled. Wow. So in 1 year from 175 to 350. Just from you guys talking about it. It's you guys getting the results, you guys talking about it, you guys spreading the word, so thank you. Paris. So I have to mention this. We just got back from Paris. I got the chance for Albright and Jane asked me and my wife to go. The food, it's pretty good. Yeah. But after a few days, when you're a redneck from Haw River, you start craving a little grease. So we're out riding scooters. Let me tell you, scooters, time out. These things, it's the most fun you can have with your clothes on. Listen, I'm telling you, we're driving, so everything's in kilometers. So it says 20, what was it, Clay? 26 kilometers per hour, which is what, 17 miles per hour, electric scooters. And there's no limits to where you can go. you can take them anywhere. You can take them in the street. You can take them down the sidewalk. You can take them in between the monuments. You go everywhere you want to go. And I'm like, this is incredible. And my wife, she loves, yeah, that's them. And all you do is you upload the app on your phone and you scan it and you have your credit card information and there's like 15 cents a minute or something like that. You can ride for an hour for like 12 euros, which is like 1,000 American dollars or whatever the conversion rate is. But it was fun. So just a quick scooter story. It's from 10 o'clock to midnight. We stayed in the wealthy district of Paris. So around 9:30, it gets pretty quiet. And that's the time to scooter because you're not dodging traffic like bullets, you know? And so we're riding around. It was myself and Evan Patzer, Brant Swindell, Glenn and Jessica Lamb, a few other people, me and my wife. And Evan Patzer, y'all know crazy Evan Patzer. Evan, he's going, I mean, this thing's like, it's going so fast. And I just hear him yell, I'm jumping the curb! And so I'm like, and I'm watching this. Well, he goes to jump the curb and the front tire don't jump. And my man goes catapulting 20 feet. I'm not kidding you. It was the most athletic barrel roll you've ever seen in your life. The bike is laying in the street and Evan is over by this restaurant and does this barrel roll and comes up and he's like, I thought my man was dead. I thought he was dead. So fun scooter story. There were several other ones, but okay, let me talk about something important. So President's Club, we get asked three main questions. So by people who are not members of President's Club. The first one is, what can PC do for my business? Here's one thing we can all agree on. Veteran or new, building a business is not easy. It is impossible to do it by yourself. Andy Albright has 125, 150 staff members now. I am here because he needed help building his business. Chris Hill is here because Albright knew he needed help building his business. Does that make sense? You need help building your business too. So the reason Andy Albright put President's Club in place is so you're not going at this thing alone. You do have an upline like Terry and Tia Edwards. They have a crazy growing organization, but they are super, super busy. And the bigger it gets, when they start hitting national manager, regional manager, JV, junior. Y'all playing tricks on me. Billy's back there like, watch this. I'll make him quit talking. They'll fly though. Let me get back to it. So, but Terry, I mean, when your group gets to a certain point, it's touches, you know, and you can't really dig in and spend time everywhere where you know you need to spend time. And so this is where we come into play. We have 5 staff, so it's myself, it's Lucero Diaz, Brandon Lontz, Celine Valdivias, and Lindsey Brown. And all 5 of us are here for you to help you build your business. And what's the one thing we do? Sell, recruit, and build. Everybody, say it again. Sell, recruit, and build. So keep it simple. That's what we help you do. We help you sell, we help you recruit, we help you build. And that's everything in between. There's 1,000 other things that I could tell you that we do, from the websites to the free resumes to the helping you hire staff to the web pres videos to helping you recruit, dialing list, getting list. We help you do all of these things, and the VIP treatment, the private calls with Andy Albright, all that stuff's included in your President's Club membership. But the key to it is sell, recruit, and build. That's what primes the pump. That's what keeps this thing moving, and that's what we help you do. Second question is, when can I join? A lot of people think they have to get to a certain level before they can join. There is no amount of money you need to issue pay, and there is no amount of people you need to hire before you can get into President's Club. If you have 1, if you have 100, it doesn't matter. If you have 0, if you're just by yourself and brand new, listen, it's $99 a month. We're not in it for the $99 a month. What you're getting is $4,000 or $5,000 a month worth of stuff every single month. Albright is not in it for the 99 bucks. He's in it to help you grow your business, right? So if it's not a good time, we'll tell you, hey, We're going to evaluate you. If you're like, hey, I want to get in, we'll have a conversation with you for 15, 20 minutes and figure out where you are in your business and say, hey, it's not a good time yet, but we're going to help you here and here and here. Let's try that, and then once we get to this point, then let's jump into President's Club. So we're going to recommend when and how to join too. So how do I join? That's the next question. Write this down if you don't have our email. It's presidentsclub@naaleads.com. presidentsclub@naaleads.com. That email will come to all 5 of us in President's Club simultaneously. Also, our telephone number is 336-227-3319, extension 1200. We have a new number that comes direct to us too, but I forgot it, but I'll blast it out. I'm forgetful. I got a built-in forgetter. So, President's Club is an investment. Albright, a lot of people come up to Albright and they say, hey, tell me how to blow my business up. I've heard it 100 times in the 4 years I've been here. Tell me how do I blow my business up? And the 2 things that he says, number 2 question is what I just went over. It's, are you a member of my club? Are you in President's Club? The number 1 question I've heard him ask every single time is, tell me, do you have leads? That's what fuels everything. The leads, none of us would be here without leads. You understand this? Somebody got to be selling some insurance for us to be up in here. And I've never met anybody other than Andy Albright, Robbie Kraft, Chris Hill that works harder than Clay Murtis and his staff. They are so constant on the phone and so relentless with helping you where you need, how much you need, based on your budget, where you need to go, where you should go, who you should be listening to and talking to. Without further ado, please help me welcome my buddy Clay Murtis and the LPT.
How y'all doing today? Yeah, we might as well hit them with it. My name is Clay Murtis. This is LPT. Are you down with LPT? Yeah, you know me. Oh, man, thank y'all for having us today. This is the lead performance team. Andy talked a little bit about it. We do leads and leads only, okay? So these are the people that you want to know. You're going to get to meet everybody from the team. My name, again, is Clay Murtis. I've been with the Alliance 4 years now. It's been a crazy journey. I am so extremely grateful to Andy and Jane Albright for A, providing this opportunity, but also B, showing me the way, showing me the light. When I got out of college, I didn't know that this was like an option. I didn't know that getting rich, changing lives, and having fun while we're doing it was an option. I thought you just kind of had to go get a good corporate job, work until you died, and then pass on some wealth to your children. I thought that was it. And so this opportunity, the chance to kind of change lives has been incredible for us, and that's kind of really one of our main goals here in the lead performance team is helping people. So that's what we do is we help you with leads, and we are a team. So you got to get to know the team because they will help you, and you want to build a relationship with them because that relationship will be extremely important and valuable when you need to get stuff done, right? If you want something done and you know the person that gets the thing done, it's easier to get that thing done. You tracking me, Nick? So like if you're tight with these people and you already have their business cards, you already got their personal cell, and you can shoot them a text like, hey, I need something, and they can help you, that's going to be very valuable to your business, okay? So you're going to get to meet the team. You're going to get to meet the group. That kind of does it. I want to introduce to you first our newest member. Her name is Taylor Pollitt. She's been with us for 3 months. Oh, you already got a mic. She's absolutely killing it. She does a lot of like the administrative stuff for us, but she keeps us moving. She keeps our calendar set, and she's a vital part of our team. So this is Taylor Pollitt.
All right, awesome. Hi, guys. Like he said, my name is Taylor Pollitt. I am on the administration side of the lead performance team. I've been here for about 3 months and some change. Andy Albright took a chance on me, and I'm glad he did. And then Clay took a chance on me, and I'm glad he did. I'm so happy to be here. I love it here. It's so fun. My team we're crazy. It's super fun. There's Nerf bullets flying everywhere. I'm in between Clay and the guys, and there's bullets going by my head all the time. All the time. But no, we're super fun. We want to help you, so make sure you check out our site. It's lpt.simplybookme. Well, lpt.simplybook.me. So make sure you get on there and set a time with one of my teammates, and we can get you some leads and help you make some money.
That's Taylor Pollitt right there. Next up, this is Evan Loudermilk. Have you been here a year yet? It's almost a year coming up.
It'll be 2 weeks exactly. It'll
Oh
be a
my
year.
gosh, he's almost been a year. It's flown by. Like seriously, I feel like we hired Evan yesterday, but like from an experience standpoint, it feels like he's been here about 10 years. He knows his stuff. He knows the lead system. He can get you hooked up. So you want to get to know Evan Loudermilk.
So, hey guys, like you said, my name is Evan Loudermilk. Coming up on a year being here, I've spent the last several years working in the restaurant industry. I went to college at Appalachian State University. Lived in Boone there for a few years. Stuck around after I finished school as well. I just fell in love with the town. Eventually, I decided that the restaurant industry was not for me. Decided to part ways. So I moved back towards Burlington. I spent some time working with my dad doing home renovations, contracting work, that kind of thing, until I found the Alliance, which I had to jump at that opportunity immediately. I've loved this company. It seemed like a great place to work for, and that has just only held true ever since then. Right. So one of the things I love about working here at the Alliance is it puts me in a great opportunity to help people and to help people grow and to help people better themselves and their business. So how many people out here, as a show of hands, how many people are of the belief that your time is very, very valuable? Oh, yeah. So you would be absolutely correct in that belief. And that is one of the ways that the LPT can help you out is because we can save you a lot of time by helping you and your team get to the leads faster. It saves you time that you do not have to focus on being the expert of the leads to be able to get them. Andy has already invested a lot of money in having a team of experts here to help you out 100% of the way and help you to get to the money faster. It's kind of like one thing I can compare it to is, in my time working with my dad doing contracting work, a whole lot of jobs that we would come into, we'd be working behind people that decided to work on their own house. And, they wanted to build all their own, cabinets and everything by themselves. Come to find out that's a lot harder than what they think. So we spent a lot of time, extra time, and they would spend a lot of extra money for us coming in to fix it. And, come to find out for them, they should have just called the experts, in the first place instead of trying to figure it out themselves. So not saying that y'all aren't good at leads or anybody, we're full of sharp people here, so we have full faith in your ability to be able to do that. But why spend the time if Andy's already spent the money to put that team in place for you to help you to get to the leads faster? That gives you more time that you can focus on growing your business, running more appointments, and making more dials, and in general just helping out more people.
Good job, Evan. That's Evan Loudermilk. You can tell a guy is crazy sharp, crazy crispy. He will help you in your business. Crispy. It's crispy. Next up, we got Ashlyn Davis. She's the veteran of the LPT. She was with Andy Lee and myself in Paris, so she's going to tell us a little bit about that. Ashlyn Davis.
Hey, y'all. I am Ashlyn Davis. I have been with the Alliance for a little over 3 years now. And like Clay said, I actually got to go.
Thank you.
I actually got to go on my first trip with NAA. I cannot tell you what I expected because I hear all of these stories of all of these people talking about how awesome the trips were. And in your mind you think like, oh, I'm sure they're awesome, but I don't really know like what to expect. Y'all. Yeah, like it's people keep asking me what was your favorite part, and I don't have specifically one favorite part because I was just in awe of the entire trip. Getting to go to Paris, getting to hang out with a team of people and leaders that I absolutely love and adore. Getting to hang out in a big city like that and do things that I've never done before. Like we went on a lunch to a 12-course meal. Never in my life did I think that I would go to eat a 12-course meal. Y'all, I cannot tell y'all how good that freaking food was. Like, I want to go back just for the food. It was amazing. Going and riding scooters, going to see the Catacombs Museum with Toby and Stephanie and Nick, and getting to hang out with Tia and Terry and just building those relationships and those bonds. So one of my goals actually for 2018, so let me back up a little bit. Before I started working at NAA, goals were never something that I set for myself. I've never worked in a job place where we set goals or where they believed in goals. So when I started working at the Alliance, coming up with goals was a really big challenge for me. Like, I remember writing like maybe 2 things down when I was supposed to write like 10 things down. And one of my goals for 2018 was to go on a trip, and it was to go to Paris. So I did whatever I had to do, and I worked my butt off to be able to get to go. So I challenge you to set goals for yourself. Even if you don't think that you will make them, I didn't think that I would be selected to go to Paris. I knew I was doing what I needed to do, but there's also other people that are out there doing the do as well. So set goals for yourself. They will help you get to where you want to go. I remember asking Clay while we were there, what do I need to do when we get back so I can go on the Alaskan cruise? I challenge you to get with your growing upline. Get with those people that are winning the trips and ask them what they did. Ask your growing uplines, what do I need to do to win that Alaskan cruise? You have a little bit of time, but you don't have a lot of time because the year is almost halfway through. So y'all, follow the system. Set goals for yourself. We have those leads to help you get the points that you need to make the Alaskan cruise. That is what we're here for. So book a time with us so we can help you get on your 4th, 5th, or even 1st all expense paid trip with the Alliance.
Good job, Ashlyn Davis. Oh, strong right there. Seriously, these trips are crazy talk, and I know I speak for Andy and Ashlyn. We're just so grateful to Andy and Jane to not only invite us and bring us, but to give us the opportunity. It was crazy talk. We did so many crazy different things. I'd never been to Paris, Mia, and I decided I didn't realize the Eiffel Tower was that tall. Like it is really a lot bigger than it looks. So like we got up in there and decided we were going to go up the Eiffel Tower. And we went to one of the legs. Did you go up the Eiffel Tower? All right. Well, we went to the leg we thought we were supposed to be in, and they got security and stuff, and we go through, and we get in. And we're like, all right, where's the elevator? They said, ain't no elevator on this side. We said, we got to walk? They said, yeah. So we took the stairs up, and there's one level, and so we got to that level, we're like, where's the elevator? They said, oh, no elevator on this level. You got to go to the 2nd level. We said, we got this. So climbed up. We then finally took the elevator to the very top. But it's just crazy stuff like that that you get to do in Paris, and crazy stories that you get to be a part of with this company. Now, Ashlyn said it. You got to set the goals. You got to seize it before you can seize it. We can help you get there. So we'll help you figure out a game plan, whether you've got X amount of points, no points, how many points you got. We can help you get the points you need to win. I've seen it time and time again. This late in the game, this is not late in the game. I've seen people in May start with 0 points, win the trip. Every single year it happens. Is it going to be you? Is it going to be you? I mean, why not? It happens to somebody. It might as well be you. And here's the crazy part, too. You get to keep all the extra money, too. It's not like you're just working to go on a trip, right? The trip is a bonus. That is the extra, okay? You are working towards building a business and building a dream and building some money, and then you get extra stuff like trips and bonuses and stuff like that. It's crazy. So, talk to the LPT. Let us know what you want to achieve, and let us help you get there. That is our goal. We really do one thing and one thing only, and that's help people. So let us help you get there. Book a time with somebody. If you haven't talked to somebody in LPT in a while and you need just maybe a reorientation, a readjustment, we got your back. Or if you don't know us and you need to know us, book a time today and get to know one of these crazy people on the team. So y'all know Andy invests like crazy into his business, right? So he invests in teams like President's Club. He invests in a team of people that only do leads, like 4 of us that only do leads. That's crazy talk. So he knows that he has to invest in his business in order for it to grow. One of the departments he invests in is a department geared only towards building, right? They build his business. They help grow his organization because he knew from the start he's going to need help to get there. So we have a recent promotion of somebody who is now leading the team, leading the pack. She's been with us for a while, and we're so excited that she's taking over because she is going to drive this thing to greater heights. She's part of the agency building task force. Give it up for Chelsea Long.
Thank you, thank you. Hey, y'all. So, like Clay said, I was blessed with the opportunity to step up at the end of April. So, I am now the director of ABTF. Thank you, thank you. So, I have been with the company for about 4 years now. And let me tell you, it was crazy. Like, literally, I was sitting there yesterday thinking about, the journey that I've had to get to this spot. And 4 years ago, I was graduating college, and like most college graduates, I landed my dream job, living in my dream house. Yep. I'm back at home with Mama, working at Victoria's Secret. Oh my gosh, I used to wake up every morning, Terry, telling women they needed one to wash, one to wear, one to spare, and a change of underwear. Right? So when I got the opportunity to meet Andy Albright and this team, gosh, life has been crazy ever since. For those of y'all who don't know, the ABTF, the Agency Building Task Force, we are here to help train, mentor, and grow Andy's base shop, so agents that are getting started direct to us. I know Andy Lee mentioned it a little earlier. What are some questions that President's Club gets a lot? Well, when you're looking at ABTF, people say, well, what do you guys do? Well, we do, like he said, we do 3 things. We sell, recruit, and build. But if you look at it like this, it's really just one thing, right? So it's the one thing we do that's really 3 things. But how do you do the selling, the recruiting, and the building? So the 3 ways that we do that over here, for the first way is we build relationships fast, right? Because y'all know, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So when you're hiring new folks in your business, the best thing to do is build that relationship quick, right? Because then you're putting deposits into that emotional bank account that you can withdraw on later to help them grow faster and grow their business faster and grow their bank account even faster. And at the end of the day, why not build relationships? Because you're going to be spending time with them on these trips to Alaska. You spent time with them when you were in Paris. So build relationships with people that you like, because you're going to be spending time with them all across the country, right? So the second thing that we do is we keep it simple. Albright is incredible at just focusing on the basics, right? When you're in the home, you got to remember MMRR. Money, recruits, referrals, right? Pick up a check, get that annuity money, see if they know anybody that can help us out, and get some referrals. Basics. The system that we have is simple, and it works as long as you're working, right? So don't try to complicate this mess, right? Andy Albright, redneck from Union Ridge, he made it simple for a reason, so anybody could duplicate it. So just get on there and do it. And then the third thing is promoting, right? Andy always says the people with the biggest businesses are the biggest promoters. Like Chris Hill said earlier, guys, 64 days until when? Y'all done said it, family reunion. If you don't got your ticket, you need to go online, alliancefamilyreunion.com, and sign up. This is an event you do not want to miss. Big decisions are made at big events. So our team tries very hard to promote like Andy promotes, right? I cannot tell you how many times I see him right before these shows, and he's out there in that lobby and he's texting, got to get one more on, got to get one more on. Like, invite one more person, because if they can get around the team and they can get around the culture and they can join this family, then we can get them to grow a lot faster and a lot bigger, right? And Andy invests money in hotspots, right? We do these, we've got over 70 meetings all across the country where you can plug in your new people to get tied into this culture. Like, Andy is very intentional in the things that he invests in, and he invests in these things for you guys, right? So, like we say, the selling, the recruiting, the building is one thing. The building the relationships, the keeping it simple, and promoting, that's the one thing too, right? So it's the 3 things we do, but it's the one thing we do, which is really all boils down to this, guys. As the ABTF, we're here to copy Andy, right? So those 3 things are how we copy Andy to help this business grow. So I appreciate you giving me the time today, and I am going to turn it back over to Chris Hill, who has been my mentor as part of the ABTF. So I will send it back over to you, Chris.
Thank you, Chelsea. All right. So this is pretty important. If you don't use the resources, don't be upset when you don't grow. And so don't complain about what you don't use. And there's been a couple of times, like I think Evan was saying, he did remodels and stuff. I can't remodel anything. I would never use a hammer. And there's been a couple of times my buddy asked me to help him with something. And like, why would you use a hammer when you can use money? And you just give it to him. And that's what I always thought. And so my buddy said, let me help me build this building. It'll be fun. It wasn't fun, by the way. But he said, let me, come help. And so I go over there, and we're putting up a wall, and I'm using a hammer. And my man comes out with a nail gun. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And it's silly to have a nail gun and not use it. Make sense? And so it's silly to have resources and not use it. And so it's only your fault if you don't use it. So they talked about a new department, and I told you I would tell you just a little bit about that. I'm not going to tell you a lot, just tell you just enough to make you interested, so that, I don't know, I'm just mean like that. So I got the opportunity. We started a new department. We still don't have a name for it. I think I'm calling it the Alliance Base Shop Initiative, but Robbie Kraft is my boss, and he didn't like it. But I didn't say it out loud, so it's too late now. Sorry, Robbie. So it's the Chris Hill department, yeah, maybe. So what my job is currently, Andy selects 3 different groups, and then I go to work with those 3 groups for 90 days. And so currently I'm working with Terry Edwards, Ed Soto, and Kyle Cater. My job is for 90 days, I work inside those 3 base shops, and I am creating agency managers is one task, putting together procedures as a second task, help them hire staff and stabilize them, and then help them get to their next level. We're supposed to quadruple the premium in 90 days. That's the goal. And so every 90 days, I work, and then at the end of the 90 days, I pick up everything and I leave. And the goal, the objective, sorry, Terry, you said, that makes my heart feel good. The objective, though, is in the 90 days that I can go in and we can spend time together so that you can put procedures in place so that after I've left, that it just keeps moving. And it's not necessarily that I know what I'm doing, but it's an extension of Andy Albright. And so for 9.5 years, my wife often says, you're talking to me in your Andy voice again. I say, it's the only one I know. It just happens to come out. It's because so much time around him. I've absorbed a lot of what he would say and what he would do. And also, most people are terrified to ask him questions, and I'm not. And so it gets that direct access. And so for 90 days, I work. And so then May, June, and July, I'm with Terry, Ed, and Kyle. And at the end of the 90 days, Andy will give me my next assignment, and I'll pick up and move to the next group and do the same for the next 90 days and so on and so forth. All right? So that's enough just to make you wonder, what in the world is he doing? And come visit, and I'll tell you more. You can come hang out at our corporate office. All right? Now, content for today. So Friday, I did the activity call, and the subject of the call was 5 ways to guarantee that you'll win the Alaska trip. And so I gave you 5 of 13 points. And so 13 sounds like a lot, but we're going to go through them fast, I promise. 13 ways that winning is an inside job. See, most people are trying to win on the outside and they haven't won on the inside. And then they're wondering what's going wrong. And here's what they do. They start looking and start trying to place blame. They're looking at other things. So this is why. The truth is, all winning takes place right here before it ever takes place out here. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Doesn't matter what competition you're in. It happens on the inside first. And so here's one rule that you need to know that we talked about on Friday. Don't beat yourself. Don't beat yourself. Get out of your way. Stop doing things to stop yourself from being successful. Here's 2 questions that winners never ask. And we'll go over these quick for recap, and then we'll jump into the next 8. First question they ask is, they never ask, what are the conditions? A winner doesn't care if it's raining, snowing, doesn't care if it's sunny, doesn't care what's going on outside, because they're the winner, not the conditions. So it doesn't matter what your lead flow is. If you're a winner, if you've already won on the inside, you're going to sell insurance. It doesn't matter what your hierarchy looks like. If you've already won on the inside, you're going to hit your next level, because winning happens inside of here. Napoleon Hill was doing a lecture, and he said this. He said, the insurance salesman makes the sale before they ever make it to the house. And I thought it was interesting. Napoleon Hill said insurance. I mean, he specifically said insurance, because I listened to it 3 times to make sure that I heard it correct. It's all happening in here, not outside of here. So they never wonder what are the conditions. The second thing, they never ask who's the competition. They don't worry about that. John Wooden said, if I get myself ready, there's nobody that can face us. And if you get yourself ready, there's nothing that can stop you from hitting your next level. There's nothing that can stop you from Alaska. Some of you, I hate to tell you this, but some of you listening are not going to win Alaska. Do you know why? Because you've already decided in your heart you're not going to win. Some of you have already won Alaska even though you don't have the points, because you already decided on the inside. The people that went to Paris, they've already made their decision. That's why most people that win a trip win the next trip, because they've already decided in their heart they're going to win. So the question is, can you make that decision? Can you decide? So number 1 of the 13 ways was take responsibility. Here was probably my favorite quote that I read on the activity call, and this is the only one that we'll go over in extensive on today's. I have learned our background and circumstances may have influenced who we are, but we are responsible for who we become. I have learned our background and circumstances, the stuff behind me, may have influenced who I am and what I've gotten to, but I'm responsible for who I become. So number 1 was be responsible. Number 2 on Friday was listen and learn from successful people. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and so when you're talking, you cut off 50% of your learning ability. So 50% of your growth is gone every time you open your mouth. Number 3, love what you do and do it. Number 4, learn from your mistakes. And number 5, don't try to be perfect. And those were the 5 that we covered on Friday. So if you missed them, call Nick like a boss, and I'll give them to him afterwards and so on. All right, number 6. Number 6, change now before you must. Change now before you must. See, here's the thing. Every single person in here, you're going to change at some point. You don't have a choice. You're either going to change because you want to, or life's going to drag you through change and you're going to be kicking and screaming. You don't have a choice. Life doesn't wait for people who will not change. It just keeps moving. It keeps going. So the question is, are you going to change and be profitable because of it? Or are you going to change later and lose money because of it? Because it's going to happen. They quoted the Cowboys owner from a long time ago. He said this. He said the reason the Cowboys used to be incredible, and they may still be now. I'm not real sure. They're not? Okay, so they're not now. But they used to be incredible before I was born. They were incredible. And then all of a sudden they had a losing streak and things started to go bad. And so they asked the owner, said, what happened? And he said, we got comfortable with success and we began to change slowly. And life just went by them and left them behind. So change either equals growth or decline, but one of the two is going to happen. It's easy to get caught up in our own success and forget to change. Andy Albright is a change agent. That man will change something in a heartbeat. But it's always strategic. See, here's what we think change is. We think change is walking down the road and I just decide to change direction, so I just take a left turn and I fall in a hole. That's not change. That's emotions. See, change is looking at your business, talking to other leaders, and saying, what do I need to do different? Me and Kyle Cater were talking on Monday. We were talking about something that we've noticed, and we talked about it on Monday at about 5:30, standing by the stairwell upstairs. By Tuesday at 8 a.m., he had already changed it, just as quick as that. He had already made that change. Why? Because change is going to happen whether you like it or not. You're just either going to make money from it or lose money from it. People change quicker in failure than in success. Isn't that sad? We normally have to be a failure before we'll change. Normally, I have to be so overweight that the doctor says I'm going to die before I'll change. Where if I would just make the decision earlier, life would be so much better. But if you don't change while you're successful, it is a downward spiral until you become unsuccessful, and then you're forced to change. We're all going to do it at some point. So here's a couple of notes about change. Change hurts more when we wait too long. The longer we wait to change, the harder it is, the more it hurts. You can choose your pain when it comes to change. You can choose the type of pain you're going to have by when you choose your pain. Where do you need to make changes today? I'm pretty confident that everybody in here, when I say the word change, immediately you think of one thing, I should go ahead and change that. You've been dealing with, there's things in my life that I need to change, and I've been dealing with it. The whole time I'm trying to talk to you about change, myself is talking to me about it, saying you need to change this stuff. Wherever you see changes needed, don't delay. It's far easier to prevent damage now than to repair it later. It's a lot easier to change now than wait till you done tore the whole building down, and now we decide to change. All right, number 7, deliver what you promise. Deliver what you promise. If you can't deliver it, don't promise it. If you can't bring it to the table, then don't offer it. Without integrity, there's no trust. And without trust, there's no confidence. And without confidence, there's no leadership. Then without leadership, there's no progress. Here's the problem. Some of you say, I'm going to go do this, and then you don't do it. And you think, well, it's no big deal. My team will get over it. Or my upline, he'll forgive me this time. But the real problem is the way you've affected yourself. See, every single one of you has a personal integrity account. And you're either putting into it or you're taking out of it. See, some of you are listening to my voice right now, and you know what you think about yourself? You think you're a loser. You think you're horrible. You think you can't do anything. Why do you think that is? You weren't created that way. So where did that come from? It's because you have a personal integrity account. And decision after decision, you've pulled out of it. And so now when you look inside to build yourself back up, to say, I'm going to do this, you look and that integrity account says, no, you're not. You've not done it before. And so you just constantly take out, and it hurts you. So don't promise something that you're not going to deliver. Can I do something for you today? Yeah. If you wouldn't mind opening your integrity account, and I'll pour a lot in there for you, because I believe in you. If I didn't believe in you, I wouldn't talk to you. I wouldn't. I mean, what would be the purpose? I always tell my wife, belief is free. She says, what if people hurt us? That's none of our business. That's not my problem. Because belief is free. So if I hold back belief because I'm worried about what you'll do to me, I've actually hurt myself instead of hurting you. So belief is free. So believe in people. There's people inside of your world right now that don't believe in themselves. Why don't you be the person to walk over and pour some belief in them? Because the world already does enough. This isn't in the notes. We're just going to stay here for a while. The world already does enough to beat you down. Would you agree with that? They already talk about you. We've all got family members that say, well, you work too much, or you don't do this enough, you should be at this, or you should be at that. And they tell us all this stuff. Somebody was telling me something yesterday, and every once in a while I forget my filter. I channel my inner Robbie. I forget my filter. Not a filter like that. Like Nick, like I let out what I shouldn't let out. And a guy was talking to me, and we was eating dinner. There's a bunch of people around, and he's talking to me, and he made a comment, and I said, sure. Now, first of all, sarcasm doesn't work, but I definitely used it, and I had fun, so forgive me. He said something, and I said, sure. I definitely would like to take advice from the guy that has no idea what he's talking about. Let me listen to you for a little while. And it was really quiet for a second. My wife's kicking me. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, sorry. I didn't mean to let that out. Every once in a while. But the world doesn't enough. They're beaten down enough. So why don't we just believe in people? There's two kinds of people. Those that do and those that don't. Which one are you? It just breaks down to that. There's not like those who sometimes do. There's either do or don't. We all know people in our life that we know we can't depend on them. And if we were honest, it isn't every single time. Like 1 out of 20 they come through. And a lot of times those people were like, you remember that one time? But bro, I remember the 19 times you didn't show up when you were supposed to. You remember that one time? Don't. Yeah, I showed up 2 months ago. We've heard that one a lot. Don't be that person. If you say you're going to book 20 appointments, just book 20 appointments. Here's the thing I was trying to explain to somebody earlier this week. It's not me that you're booking 20 appointments for. It's you. Because when your heart tells me that you're going to do it and that you don't do it, your heart believes a little less in you. I still believe in you just as much. Why? Because I know you're messed up just like I'm messed up. But our heart takes that hit. Stop taking the hits. A promise is kept only at the moment of completion. Ain't that rough? Because a lot of times what I'll say is I'm halfway done. And you say, that's 0% done. Does that make sense? And following through, you learn to gain control. So, if you promise it, deliver it. The Bible says it's only a fool makes a vow and doesn't keep it. Don't make a vow and don't keep it. See, these are things you can do. See, if I was telling you, if I said, well, I need you to do an algebra equation, I'd be like, well, I'm out. Yeah, I can't do that. If I said you got to, Paul Roberts runs these marathons. You got to run a marathon. I'm out. Not going to do that. You give me one of them scooters, I'll do a marathon. Yeah, I'll do it with a scooter. I'm out. But if I said, just do what you say you're going to do, you can do that. You need to stop lying to yourself, thinking you're lying to others, because you're only hurting yourself. Number 8, don't make excuses. Don't make excuses. Every successful person in our company has things they've overcome. You just don't see them. I could stand people up here in front of you and you would look at them. I could stand Terry and T up here. I know them pretty well. I could stand them up here and you would look at them and say, I wish I had their business. I wish I sold insurance like Terry. I wish I had Terry's body. No, sorry. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I could stand, I'm trying my best. Get that Terry look on. I could stand them right here and you would look at them and say, I wish I had what they have. But you have no idea what they went through. See, if you've been at any of the smaller meetings, I've heard a lot of the stuff they've been through. I've heard a lot of the struggles they've gone through. A lot of the things that they've gone through, a lot of people can't even imagine. To be honest, I can't comprehend moving down to a foreign city, away from all of my family, and then not having anything. Can you imagine? Some of you have been through that. I've not been through that. So when I hear those words, I'm thinking, wow. And he's sitting here today, they're sitting here today with a growing business. How easy would it have been just to get bitter down in Atlanta and say, I can't believe they treat me this way. I'm going to make a stand right here. See, a lot of people take a stand on the wrong ground. They take a stand on something, they say it's about principle. It's not about principle. It's about your feelings getting hurt. Why not take a stand on winning for your family? See, because he could have easily said, the way they treated me, forget this. I'm going to go to a different bank and show them. Instead, he looked at them, and I wish I could have been there. If I could go back in time, I'd sit there and just watch. I'd get me a lawn chair, some popcorn, and some keto popcorn, of course. Yeah, skinny pop, yeah. And I'd sit there and be eating, I'd be watching. Like, what's he going to do? And I'm sure it wasn't glamorous. Like, I imagine he got the letter and goes, ha, they let me go. I'm about to build a big business. No, I don't think that's what happened. It was probably like, oh no, what are we going to do? You know what I mean? We like to think it's like Superman, and when he got the letter, he ripped his shirt off. It stood like this. He said, all right, it's time to sell insurance. No. It was probably just like what you faced. I said, oh no, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay my bills? What happens now? What do I do next? See, everybody's got stuff, just some people don't let the stuff stop them. And so some of you, you're not on track for Alaska. Why? Simply because you have excuses. And I guarantee you, and might be hard for some of you to believe, I can find another person in the Alliance that's got just as much stuff going on as you that's winning. Why? Because winning's on the inside. It has nothing to do with what's on the outside. Name after name. The two names that I ran today, James and Jane Hill, James and Angie Coleman, both of those couples went through all kinds of stuff. One went through financial, one went through health. James and Angie went through financial as well, just all kinds of stuff. But yet they won Alaska in May. So what's different about them than you? What's the difference? It's simply that winning is an inside job. Every successful person could give you multiple reasons why they shouldn't make it. Most of you know Chick-fil-A, right? Yeah. You know that Kathy Truitt's brother died in the first year that they were in business. They were partners. Can you imagine that plane crash? See, we look at Chick-fil-A and think, man, now they're bringing a Chick-fil-A to our hometown, And so my children have already lined up. They're ready for it. And people love that place, and it's doing really well. But the first year was marked by death of his brother. Financial difficulties, all these problems. But yet we see Chick-fil-A. So the question is, what are the excuses that you're holding on to, saying this is why it's not working for me? And can I ask you today just to let it go? If you just say, we will sing Frozen. I've got 3 girls. I will sing Frozen. No. Later. That's the night out. Man, you got me all messed up, Nick. That was a good part, too. I was letting it go, you know. What is the excuse that you're holding on to, saying, I'm not winning Alaska because of that? Could I ask you today, on Wednesday, just to let it go? And say, that's no longer going to be the thing that holds me back. I no longer allow that excuse to win, because winning's on the inside. Businesses that succeed are ones that don't make excuses and get the job done. Number 9, get control of your life. Get control of your life. Leaders say, I wish. Losers say, I wish, and winners say, I will. Which one are you? I've been guilty of that. I wish so is, or I wish I had done this, or I wish. Winners don't say that. They say, I will. I will win. I will achieve. I will accomplish. I will book 20 appointments. I will win Alaska. Can you change your language today? If you can control your time, you can control your life. See, every single one of us has 24 hours. Hear what most of us say, I wish I had more time. I've made that statement. I've made that statement more times than one. Most of the time we say, I wish I could have more time, but we all have the same amount of time. I want you to use your time more effectively. Get more out of your time. Here, Alec McKenzie gave us 10 time eaters. I'll give them all to you really fast, and then I'm going to ask you a question. Listen closely, and when you hear the one, be like, that's me. That's me. Now, it might be all 10. If you're like me, it's all 10. But when you hear it, write it down. Top 10 time wasters. Crisis management, always trying to fix some problem. Telephone interruptions. Oof. Lack of objectives. Attempting too much. My wife would say that's one that I try. Drop-in visitors, people that just show up. Lack of delegation. Personal disorganization. Lack of self-discipline. Inability to say no, and procrastination. Which one's you? All of it? Can I ask you a favor? Just because we're friends. Can you pick one and try to eliminate it this week? Just get rid of one. Don't try to do all 10. I've tried that. It don't work. And then guess what happens? We try all 10, and then we feel like losers because we didn't accomplish all 10. There's not one person in this room or listening to this call that can eliminate all 10. Just pick one. If over the next 10 weeks you could eliminate one each week, you imagine how effective you're going to be? Get control of your life. Don't expect to be a winner until you get control. See, most people make decisions off of emotions. And that's why their life's like a roller coaster. Andy Albright's life is not like a roller coaster. It's not because he has different storms, because everybody has storms. Nobody gets to avoid the storms. It's not because he has different problems or different things he's dealing with, because everybody's got stuff. Some people make decisions based off their future instead of their emotions. Which one are you? Some people, see, we're on the TWC, it's 136, I believe. No, 134. And so some people have already decided the rest of their week what they're going to do. It is clearly mapped out. And some of you listening, you have no idea what you're going to do next. See, this doesn't have anything to do with you being successful. It's just poor management. Because you are an effective person. I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm here to tell you, you are a winner. You just have to decide to be too. You're already here. Like, congratulations, you made it. You're alive. I celebrated a birthday a couple weeks back, and I always find it funny, like they're celebrating that I didn't die this year. I didn't do something stupid and hurt myself. You're here. Congratulations, you won. Why not choose what you're going to do? Because when you just kind of wander through, you get wandering results. And wandering results never really end up with what you want. Does that make sense? So why not get your own GPS to your life and just start planning it out? I know stuff comes up, but why not make logical decisions instead of emotional decisions? Tomorrow morning, something's going to happen to you. I think we could all agree with that. It might be good, it might be bad. What are you going to do with what happens to you? You should have already decided that. You should go ahead and choose now. Get control of your life. Number 10, work can't see hours. I'll explain. Work can't see hours. Start work when it's dark and finish when it's dark. You're building a business. See, this is a thing that I did wrong talking to people for a long time. When people come into the business, a lot of times I try to figure out what little they could do to be successful. That's not the mindset of a business owner. It's what all can I do? What are all the resources that are available to me? I'll brag on Kyle Cater for a second. When I get here in the mornings, no matter what time I get here, my man's here. He's always here. When I leave at night, guess what? He's here. I came back to the office, this was a couple months ago, and Kyle doesn't even know this because he was over there working. And I came back, I had to pick up something from the office. It was about 9 o'clock at night. And I came back in, and y'all know how when you go into a building and you feel like you're the only one there and it's really creepy? It's really in churches. Like, you know, I don't know if it's the Holy Spirit or what, but it creeps me out. I came back in the building, and I'm trying to be really quiet because, you know, I'm creeped out. And I hear this noise. It's like 9 o'clock at night. And I look over in the corner, and Kyle's in the corner just working away on the phone, nonstop. That's working can't see hours. Here's what a lot of people do. You start at 9, you end at 4, and then wonder why your business looks like that. See, you'll find Albright starts work early, and he works late. He's constantly pushing forth what's next. The question that I would ask you is, how many hours did you put towards your dream? Because a lot of times we ask the question, how many hours did I work this week? Nobody cares. I don't care how many hours you work this week. I care how many hours you invested towards your dream. Because whether you like it or not, there's a certain amount of time it's going to take to achieve your dream. There is a certain block of time it's going to take to achieve your dream. And if I could, I would go by each of you and I would tell you exactly how many hours it would take, and then you would just go do it. The problem is I can't. See, the problem is I can't do that for you because I don't know. But I can tell you this, Kyle's going to get there faster than you. You know why? Because he's investing more hours towards his dream. So the question is not, did you work 40 hours this week? The question is, were you able to put 100 hours towards your dream? Because at some point, like Andy says, you're going to meet that younger man, and you're going to be the older man, and you're going to ask these questions. And what did you put in today so you could have tomorrow? Work can't see hours. There is a relationship with your willingness to put in extra hours and the extra things to get the extra things in your life. Y'all saw the pictures of Paris? Like, there's a relationship between working when no one else is working to have that. And so we look at this picture, and this might be my fault. We look at this picture and we talk about how awesome it is, and we talk about how cool it is, and we see all these people get it, and then you see like this crew that goes, and you're like, man, look at them, and they don't have any problems, and they're perfect, and they all look good for the most part, and they're just good. Sorry, Nick. And they're just good people, and I bet you they book 10 appointments on 9 phone calls, and I bet you they run 3 appointments and write 28 apps. I bet they're just, and we think that, but the truth is, I've got a really good friend of mine, and he knows who he is. 2 weeks before Paris, he wrote 30 grand. The week of Paris, before he went to Paris, guess how much he did? He went 0 for 6. But we don't talk about that. I mean, that would be discouraging, right? You know, like one of our leaders would ever say. But the truth is, for the month, he still did like 45,000. You know what I mean? So he still did 45,000, but he had a horrible week right before he went. Do you think he cares? No. He's already won on the inside. See, he's working can't see hours, so he gets that kind of stuff. So if I could just try to today put the two together, the things that you want are directly tied towards the hours that you're working when no one else is. It's not impressive that you work the same hours as somebody else. It's only impressive when you do it above and beyond. So you can find other people that will put in 40. I wonder if you'll put in 80. See, because you're trying to get ahead. Does that make sense? So if we're in a race and they're putting in 40 and you're putting in 40, y'all are neck and neck. Guess what happens to the pack? They don't win. Guess what happens to the people that are average? They don't get the extraordinary. So what are you going to do today so that you have the extraordinary there? Because we oftentimes won't tie the two together. Work can't see hours. A direct relationship to what you put in is what you get out. It's not, I wish you had more time, but instead, I wish you would do more with the time that you have. And so we all got the 24 hours. You choose what you do with it. Number 11, plan and prioritize. Number 11, plan and prioritize. Things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least. Things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least. Here's the problem with the things that are least. They normally yell the loudest. Sometimes they look like the most fun. But typically the least never produces you what you want. Here's the problem with the things that matter the most. They normally are standing to the corner and they don't say a word. That's why they matter most. They don't need to beg for your attention. You need to beg for their attention. And the things that matter least, they need you. They feed off of you. They try to suck the life out of you. The things that matter most, stand off to the side. And you'll notice the wealthy people walk over and get those things and get to work. And they ignore the least things. One of the things that we do as a task is I ask for you to draw out your team and then list out an A list activity, B list activity, C list, D list, and E. A is most important, then it's B, then it's C. D is delegate, and then E is eliminate. Most people spend most of their time on D and E. They live in D and E. And unfortunately, that directly ties to your income and to your dreams. I wish I could disconnect sugar from being overweight. Wouldn't that be cool? I'm hoping that's what heaven's like. I'm really, I wish I could disconnect sugar and being overweight. I wish I could disconnect little activities from being broke. I wish I could disconnect the two. I wish it wasn't that if you did a little bit that you were broke. I wish you were rich. But it just don't work that way. And if it did work that way, everybody would be rich and nobody would be rich. And guess what would happen? There'd still be a couple of people that went on the inside and outperform everybody else. Which one are you? 2 essential areas to plan and prioritize. Number 1, work. Prioritize your workload. Put yourself to work. I'll give you a tip because I think I got 1 minute to share with this. I was studying John Maxwell. I love John Maxwell leadership. That's where all the content's from today. I enjoy listening to John Maxwell. I've read as many books as I can get my hands on, listen to all kinds of audios. Here's what John Maxwell does. He has a folder system. He takes his work and he puts them in folders. When he goes anywhere, he grabs 2 or 3 folders. So when he's sitting and he stops somewhere, he picks up his folder and goes to work. He doesn't waste any time. He's already planned his work out. There's some people on this call that the second this call's over with, their schedule says do this. And guess what they're going to do? That. But there's a lot of people the call's going to be over with. Guess what they're going to do? I wonder what I should do now. I bet there's snacks over there. Oh, a soda. Immediately following this, me and Mia are making phone calls for 2 hours. It's already planned, scheduled. Immediately following that, I've got a call with Brandon and Bill. We're going to work out in the Las Vegas area. It's just scheduled. See, I'm not very smart. I don't have a lot of genius coming out of me. But I do realize, copying Andy, that if I schedule it, I'm more likely to do it. And I realize that if I am untalented but scheduled, I'm better than the talented person that's not scheduled all day long. So plan your work. Number 2, plan your personal growth. Plan your personal growth. John Maxwell listens to 5, he calls them tapes because the audio is listened to is so old, but he listens to 5 tapes a week and reads 1 book every week. Just like that. Albright always has a book inside of his bag, and there's always an audio playing when he's not on the phone. Plan your personal growth. If you haven't listened to an audio this week, and then unfortunately you've already hurt yourself for the next 6 months. It's as simple as that. What are you listening to make yourself better? What are you putting into you to make yourself better? See, if I put in the wrong food, guess what? I get the wrong product. And if you put in the wrong food mentally, you're going to get the wrong product. Some people ask me, how's Andy so smart? Well, he's listened to thousands of audios. Some people, it's always funny, after this call to happen, people, man, that content was great. I don't know how you come up with this stuff. I don't. Just listen to the audio. They give it all to you. Does that make sense? What is it that you learned this week that you're going to teach somebody else? Plan and prioritize your personal growth. Number 12, believe in yourself, your mission, and others. Some of you don't believe in yourself. You believe in the alliance, but you don't believe in yourself. And I wish I could fix that for you. If I could, I'd take you and I'd shake you. I'd do whatever I could to cause you to believe in yourself. Because here's one thing you can know. I believe in you. Here's something that's even better than that. Andy Albright believes in you. If he didn't believe in you, he wouldn't have all this. Does that make sense? If we didn't believe in people, it'd be pointless. So you might say, but you don't know me. You don't know how bad I am, or you don't know all the things that I've done. And here, I got good news for you. Tell me your story, and I'll find somebody worse than you. And you'll be like, wow, I didn't know that guy was that bad. And we believed in him, we believe in you. See, some of you are stopping the belief. Andy Albright comes up to you, and he remembers your name, and you think, why in the world would he remember my name? Because he believes in you. Does that make sense? One of our leaders walks up to you and shakes your hand and gives you a hug, and you're thinking, why are they doing this? It's simply because they believe in you. We need for you to believe in yourself as well. You live off of my belief as long as you like to, but it's so much more fun when you believe in yourself as well. Believe in our mission. Some of you believe in the opportunity, but you haven't believed in the mission. You haven't given over completely to it. Do you know how I know this? Because you're not always talking about it. You're not always trying to find the next person and help them. You're more interested in how you make a little bit more money, which is important, but who have you helped? Because see, what are we here for? Insurance is our vehicle. I love insurance. If I die, my wife, she's set. She's perfect because I believe in it as a product, and I believe it's the right thing. And I've known people that have died without it, and I've seen what it's done. And so my family will never, ever have to deal with that because I believe in insurance. You know what I believe more? What I believe in more than insurance? You. I believe in you more than I believe in insurance. Because insurance can help me with my finances. You can help me with my life. So believing in what we do, and when you see people that are hurting, realizing you can actually help those people if you choose to. Believe in yourself, believe in your mission and others. It doesn't matter how many times you fail, you only have to hit success once. We don't go back in time and look and be like, hey, you know how many times Nick didn't close? No, okay, sorry. All right, Toby. Nick asked us not to use this on him. Toby, we don't go back and go, hey, let's look at Toby's past record and see how many times he didn't get a policy pushed through and make fun of him. No. Nobody knows. You know what people know? Toby went to Paris. That's all they know. That makes sense? But a lot of times we think people are judging us for our failures. Nobody's watching your failures. You know why? Because when they watch your failures, it reminds them of their failures. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be reminded of that. But they see you win and walk across stage. That's what they remember. So you only have to hit success once. Stop worrying about failing. I tell my kids all the time, it is okay to fail. Just get back up. If you don't fail, you're not trying. You're just not trying. If you feel like if you haven't failed in a while, you're complacent. Some of you, I'm hitting this on the third row. I can feel it. I can feel it. The third row right there, they're looking at me. I know exactly what I'm talking to. If you're not failing, you're not trying. I don't want to end my life and they look back and say, he sure didn't try nothing. He was safe. What good would that do? I want my kids to say he was a really good dad, he was a good believer in Christ, and man, he tried everything he could to win for our family. I hope they say at my funeral, he sure did fail a lot, but when he won big. I hope that's what they say. I don't want to be known as a guy that doesn't try. Fail as much as you can because you only have to hit success once. If you've ever heard Andy's story, my man has failed about 100 times. And a couple of times it went really bad. But then he's won big one time, and we're still living off of it. Look at all this is off the one time. Now, most of you look at him and you can't even imagine him not winning and failing. But the truth is he did. That's why all this is here. So if I could go into your future, what is it in your future that you're not accomplishing because you're not failing today? Because you're not trying. Some of you are wondering, should I buy leads? What if I don't sell? Good. That's good for you. What if I buy leads and nothing good happens? Good. That's called failing so you can win later. Learn from it. What if I join President's Club and my premium doesn't go up? Good. That's how you figure out how to move forward. Does that make sense? Stop worrying about failing and start worrying about winning. We spend so much time trying not to lose that we forget to win. So you go ahead and win. Stop failing. Stop winning. Start figuring out how to fail, and I promise you winning will come. It's wonderful when people believe in the leader. It's even better when the leader believes in the people. So who is it in your world right now that you're watching and you're like, I don't know about them? And we would never say it out loud. Like we would never go up to Toby like, Toby, let me be honest. I'm picking on you now because Nick's like, don't pick him on. So like, Toby, Toby, we really don't think you can do this. That'd be like, oh. But if me and my wife are talking about it and then I meet Toby at a hot spot, he can feel it. Does that make sense? I don't know how. He can feel it. So we have a rule in my house. We don't beat people down even when they're not there because they can feel it. Because remember, belief is free. So at my house, we say, I believe he can do it. I believe they're going to do it. I believe they're going to win. The words, I don't believe they can do it, should never come out of our mouth. Why? Belief is free. Believe in the people. All right, number 13, and we're done. Number 13, give more to others than they expect. Give more to others than they expect. There's people inside of your world right now that they think you're going to let them down. Why not give them more than they could ever imagine? Why not over-deliver? Why not call them up and say, hey, why don't you come get in the car with me and let's go run appointments? Why not say, hey, I'm coming over to your house, I'm going to make dials, let's do it together. Why not do something to over-deliver? Here's what I was saying, over-deliver costs money. It don't cost money. It costs emotion. It costs love, which again is free. Give as much of it as you can. Over-deliver to people. One man said this, don't judge each day by the harvest you receive, but instead by the seeds you sow. Stop worrying about how much is coming in and pay attention to how much is going out. See, I'm of the belief that eternity is a long time. I believe my life is about this short. And I believe if I had a string on the other end, it was eternity, it would wrap around this building 100 times and still only be a fraction of what eternity is. So why would we be so worried about right here instead of investing in everything else? See, logically it makes sense. Invest in eternity. What can I do for other people? Invest, invest, invest. Over-deliver in them. You can't reap a harvest where you haven't planted. It's just not possible. And we're going around to people and we're not over-delivering and then expecting them to perform and expecting fruit to come up. My wife said, hey, let's grow a garden. I said, sure, go for it. I didn't know that meant I had to work the garden. And so we put this little raised bed up, and I don't have a clue what I was doing. And they gave me these seeds, didn't tell me what the seeds were. And so I went out to this raised bed, I just threw them all out, all at once. And there was corn in there. It got about this tall. My wife was not happy. And I had squash and tomatoes and lettuce all mixed in together. It was a mess. And I put no effort into actually getting something out of it because I didn't want to, let's just be honest. But then at the end of it all, when the stuff started coming up, I got frustrated. And I was like, I planted this garden. Why does it look like this? And inside, a little voice said, you didn't even try. Why are you upset? You didn't even try. You're wanting a harvest where you did no work. So the question you've got to ask yourself, where are you looking for a harvest and you ain't putting in any work? All right, 5 types of people. Number 1, this is our conclusion, 5 types of people. Number 1, the type that never invests but expect to collect. always complaining. Number 2, the people that never invest and they don't expect to collect, they suffer. Number 3, it's starting to get better. They start to invest and they want to collect immediately, they quit. We know those people. They call up Clay. Clay, I bought 10 leads yesterday. I thought I'd write 20 grand. That's not the way it works. You actually have to work. They start to invest and they want to collect right away. And when it doesn't come like they want it to, they quit. Number 4, those that continually invest and they want to collect later, they win. And then number 5, those that strategically invest will collect big. They compound their winnings. What type of investor are you? What type of investor are you for the future? What are you putting in the ground so that you have something tomorrow? Which one of the 5 are you? Men are remembered for their extraordinary days, but they're made on their ordinary days. See, it's the ordinary days when nothing historic happens. And it's just like, I'm out here running appointments. No one knows I'm alive. I'm all by myself. I'm going to die in that house. You're like, some of you, I've got phone calls before. Here's a pin drop. If you don't hear from me in an hour, call the police. Like, we're out here in the middle of nowhere. No one even cares. I've been running appointments and no one's even said my name. In 20 years, none of this is going to matter. Those are the ordinary days. See, we want to look. We look at Facebook and we go, look at all these extraordinary days, and they just ain't real. Not real at all. See, it's the ordinary days stacked up that make extraordinary days. See, it's the ordinary days of you running appointments and just being faithful to doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then all of a sudden, at some point, you look back and you realize you see all the extraordinary days. But see, when you're living in it, it just looks ordinary. Y'all know Christopher Columbus kept a journal? Most entries said, we sell on. We sell on. We sell on. How many of us would have got frustrated in the sell on? Like, I ain't selling no more. We're turning this boat around right now. But see, the ordinary days of selling produce the extraordinary days that we're still talking about today. It's easy to be running the appointment and say, this doesn't matter. Nobody's going to remember. But it's the faithfulness of doing that that's going to be what we talk about in the next 10 to 20 years. What are your grandkids going to say about you? Now, yeah, they're not going to talk about the one house you went into and whatever. Here's what they're going to say. Grandpa, Grandma, she did what she was supposed to do when she was supposed to do it every time. And the reason was she went on the inside. She wasn't looking for other people to tell her she was a winner, although people did. She wasn't looking for the world to give her a hand up to help her be a winner, because the world never does. She simply said this, I'm already a winner, so I'm going to do the things that I need to do to be successful. Here's what I can promise you. If you win on the inside today, you win here today, I promise you, no matter what takes place in this world, on the outside, you're going to end up winning. And here's the problem. People are going to look at you and they're going to say, oh, it must have been easy for him. And you're going to be so mad. You're going to kick them. You're going to be so angry. Because they're going to say, look at them. It was simple for them. They don't know what I've gone through. See, it has nothing to do with the conditions. It has nothing to do with the circumstances. It has nothing to do with what you're dealing with. It only has one thing to do, and that's your heart. And if you'll decide today, on May 15th, Wednesday of 2019, if you'll decide today that you're going to win on the inside, I guarantee you, you're going to win on the outside tomorrow. I'm so glad I got to be here with you. I look forward to Alaska. Look forward to a huge year. Thank you for your time. See you soon.